we're in a state where slavery has been accepted wholesale. And there are people who believe that the ruling class has the legitimate moral right to rule, and other people are legitimately their slaves. This is really where we're at in humanity, worldwide. And the vast majority of people have accepted that paradigm. And what it is a cult, religious belief system that is completely false, completely erroneous. There's not enough people speaking out in courage that that is a false paradigm and belief system. This is what the message that we have to put out there to this body of the population that still believes the mainstream media narrative and still believes the government narrative. To believe in authority is to condone slavery. That is exactly what it is. Stop sugarcoating it and start saying what it is to other people. To believe in authority is to condone slavery. If you are a believer in authority and you are a believer that there is moral legitimacy to government, you are someone who is saying, I believe in and condone slavery, because that is what the right to command and rule other people is. It is slavery, and that is what government is on its face. And I will not sugarcoat that that is what it is. I'm here to put that out there as the plain and simple truth and encourage others to do the same. There is no such thing as the right to rule or command others. And we have to stop believing that there is, because to even believe it is to condone slavery. And it's completely immoral, and it's completely based on violence. So now what's happening is that the narrative of this masterclass is being said never to be questioned. It is not to be questioned by members of the slave class. This is what all this social shaming is all about by the members of the cult. See, the cult members want to point fingers at other people who don't believe their worldview of authority, their authoritarian worldview. You know, they want to say, oh, shame on you. No, not shame on us. Shame on you for accepting that slavery is morally legitimate. How about that? That's how the tables have to be turned. Your worldview is false and illegitimate, morally, on its face. And now, big tech companies, big tech corporations are trying to make it impossible to get the word out by censoring social media and censoring people and deplatforming them. And all that's going to do is incite very, very dark days ahead, let's just say. It's already turning in that direction because of how people have been oppressed. And people don't understand it's a powder keg. It's not just a powder keg here in America, folks. It's a powder keg worldwide. And you better psychologically prepare yourself. And I'm telling everybody out there, it's because most people who say they're for the truth and for freedom didn't do their work. They failed at their job to morally educate the public. There is not enough of the voice of truth. The reality is spoken into existence, ladies and gentlemen. The universe is spoken into existence. What we experience in our daily reality, in the aggregate, in the collective, is based upon what people said, what people accepted into them, the information they took in, and that is what informed their behavior. And now what the ruling class wants to do is try to make it impossible to get that word out there, and they are going to ensure a violent outcome as a result of that. That's what I have been trying to prevent from day one, and that is what I've been trying to tell my viewership and listenership, that it is your personal responsibility through your actions to help prevent by teaching people true morality. And unfortunately, we're failing in that job. Collectively, we're failing in that job, and you're going to see the result of that failure in the physical world. These people believe that all alternative viewpoints of reality, perspectives of reality, are to be banned and banished and even possibly made illegal. Okay? And people who don't accept their worldview as it is put out there by the mainstream media and the government and other quote-unquote officials or quote-unquote experts is not to be challenged, and they are to have their rights stripped from them if they don't accept that worldview. Well, I don't accept your worldview. I believe my knowledge is far superior to yours, and I'm not afraid to tell you that. The real reality of this is no one has the right to force a worldview upon others. We have the right to speak what the truth is. I can't ultimately force it on anybody. I could just show an ignorant person how they've been deceived. But just like I can't force my worldview on other people, no one can force their worldview on me or others. Because here's the truth of the matter, folks. Government media, and even scientists are not the arbiters of truth. Truth exists independently of any human being's perception of it. It is our goal to bring our perception into alignment with that which is, namely the truth. And we have to do that through a rigid truth discovery methodology and taking in high volumes of eclectic information from all over many different sources, even those we don't agree with. Putting them all together, logically weeding out all inconsistencies so that we distill it down to the base essence of that which is true. And only then can we say we have an accurate understanding of what is taking place. And most people do not do that process. Ladies and gentlemen, I do that process, and I'm not going to have people that don't do it tell me what I must believe because an expert said it. I will perform the truth discovery methodology process on the information myself and come to my own conclusion about it, and so should everyone else. So no one's going to tell me other people are the arbiters of truth. No one is the arbiter of truth, not even me. Not you, not anyone as an individual. Their conclusions do not mean that it is the truth, and their conclusions cannot be violently pushed upon others. That is what is unfortunately taking place in our world. People with no knowledge just completely giving into fear. And the biggest fear is fear of the unknown, because fear of the unknown is what holds people back from knowledge and higher awareness. See, if you fear knowledge because you fear what you might discover, it is going to create a feedback loop of fear, because fear comes from lack of knowledge. Those who are informed are not in fear. Ignorance is what creates fear. Refusal of truth is what creates fear. I have no such fear because I've accepted what truth is, and I've aligned my perception to it. But here's where we're at, folks, societally. This is what self-mastery is all about. Understanding the laws of the universe, understanding natural law, and then actually applying that true spirituality in one's life through our behaviors, through our actions, in the right way, through right action. The next way out is self-respect. True respect, true looking again at the qualities of ourself as an individual. Self-respect is the true healer. You want to cure the real human sickness? Then apply the true healer, which is self-respect, first and foremost. This is the development of internal courage, to look at the truth and then to speak the truth publicly. Not just to your family and friends where you think it's safe. It needs to be out there publicly in a courageous way where you're telling people, I'm not afraid. You know? Turn off the lying, fear-mongering, state-controlled media. It is an affront to self-respect. Stop believing that others have the right to command you. There is no such right. There is so much moral right. This is the way out. True courage. Courage is the universe's protection. It's universal protection. We talk about, protective equipment, to shield us from illness. This is the real universal protection to shield us from spiritual illness. That's what courage is. Be bold and mighty forces will come to your aid. The people who are stepping up, the people who are saying, no, we're not going to have this. We're going to go back to our lives. We're not going to take government mandates. We're not going to take government commands because you don't have the right to command us. We are free and we're going to act like it. Stepping into that kind of courage creates the universe's protection. I'm protected because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of what can be done to me in the physical domain. And you know what real protection is going to come in the form of? Stepping into the courage to teach natural law. That's a spiritual understanding. If you exercise courage for the right things and you teach the right things and you teach natural law, mighty forces of creation will come to your assistance and aid in your life, in all your endeavors. And that is where my protection comes from. So we have to say the lost word, which is no, and we need to fall in love with it. This is the lost word. We have to say no to evil. We have to say no to authoritarianism. We have to say no to worldview violence. We have to say no to external control. No one has the right to externally control, rule, or command us. And we need to fall in love with that word. That is a vibratory energy of courage and protection, the word no. No, you don't own me. No, I am not your slave. No, you don't have the right to command me and others. No one does. So folks, it looks like this, the lost word. Through the knowledge of natural law, a truly awakened human being is finally able to speak the lost word, which is no. No is the word of all power. And only when we say no to those who would claim to be our owners do we stop externalizing our power, and in doing so reclaim all of our natural rights. And that happens when we start to say no to those who would claim to be the rulers of our lives. And when you look at the word no, ladies and gentlemen, you realize it's just another form of the word on. It's just on flipped upside down. Because when we say the lost word no to those who consider themselves our authority, we are truly embracing and turning on the light inside each and every one of us.